No. Not at present. Oh, yeah. Mayor? Yeah.
Even though it's technically not 24, because that's the mechanic side here.
I think that's another meeting.
Mr. Dell, he's not registered.
Yeah, well, he's working on it.
Utterly superb.
I'm gonna get a couple extras.
Ready?
All right, but I haven't marked through anything.
There we go.
All right, we'll call this meeting of City Council to order. Please call the roll.
Schmidt,
Here.
White,
Here.
Brown,
Here.
Ely,
Here.
Godwin,
Here.
Norris,
Here.
Rogers.
Here. Let's stand for the pledge.
We'll actually go there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Approval of the minutes. You should have received a copy of the minutes through your email.
Mr. President Pro Tem, I would like to request 4 clarifications within the minutes. On page 1, under the mayor's comments, Dark County voted on the issue to legalize marijuana, not just on the issue for clarification. On page 4, President Baumgartner stated Dark County voted on the issue already in November 23 for clarification to legalize marijuana. Farther down on page 4, Ms. Ely stated the citizens of Dark County voted previously and voted no, add on the legalization of marijuana. And at the bottom, under my comments, White moved to proceed with preparing the necessary legislation to place recreational marijuana on the ballot. Should say to place dispensaries and cultivation of recreational marijuana on the ballot. Those 4 corrections, please.
Mr. White, could you repeat that first one you said? I'm sorry, I missed it. I was just trying to take.
In the mayor's comments under administrative report, Mayor Whitaker stated Dark County voted on the issue on November 3rd, 2023. I said to add to legalize marijuana.
Okay.
Was the clarification. And
Okay.
only for clarification.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other additions or corrections? Okay, so you will make those notes then?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll make the amendments and send them back out.
very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving on, approval of the agenda. At this time, there's nothing to add.
Mr. President Pro Tem, I'd like to make one change to the agenda. I would like to, going forward, change item J from old business to unfinished business as per Robert's Rules of Order. It's the procedural correct response. Should not be old business, it should be unfinished business. Thank you.
All right. So approval of the agenda. After that, is there anything else?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to approve the agenda as presented. Discussion. Call the roll.
Schmidt,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, public hearing. Anyone wishing to address council, please step forward.
Hi, Greg Bowen, Director of the Dark County Visitors Bureau. Just wanted to stop in, and this is the time of year when we do a lot of our sending our contracts and promotions. So I just want to give an idea of what we're working on right now and how we're promoting Dark County. One of the things we do is hotel distribution with our visitors guides. So there's 150 hotels in Ohio that we have visitors guides in. Basically, Columbus, Interstates leading in Columbus, and I-75 corridor, Toledo to Dayton. chances are we have a visitor's guide in one of those hotels. We also do tourist information centers. So basically, anybody heading towards Dark County on the interstates, if there's a tourist information center close on over, state line on over, we are in those tourist information centers as well. We also work with the Ohio Travel Pavilion, and we have upcoming shows, and they distribute our visitors guides there. Charleston, West Virginia, Columbus, Pittsburgh, and Detroit. We also have upcoming advertising, the official State of Ohio Travel Guide. We work with USA Today. We do a Midwest Travel Guide. We have an ad in there. We'll be in the Ohio Magazine March-April issue, and we also partner with My County Link and the Daily Advocate. In March, I'll be attending the Heartland Travel Showcase in Toledo. This is for bus tour operators, so a chance to meet bus tour operators, show them what we have in Dark County, hopefully get some bus trips coming into the county. The Amy Oakley Trail, which we started promoting last year. It's about 10 stops all around the county. That's been added to ohio.org's Adventure Trail page, so that's good to see. And this is also a visitor's guide year, production year. It's a 2-year guide, so we'll start working on that. So any interested businesses interested in having an ad, we'd love to hear from you. And any questions?
I have one question.
Yes.
When was the Ohio Magazine article supposed to appear? I'm sorry.
It's the official tour guide. It comes out probably late February, March.
Okay.
So we'll have, I mentioned in there. Yes.
All right. Thank
And
you.
we get copies of those in the Welcome Center, so feel free to stop and pick one up.
I bet I could. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yes.
Are you able to just touch high level on the refresh that we?
Yes. So last Tuesday, I think it was last Tuesday, we had a refresh just with the board members, just to get together and just make sure we're on the same page. It's kind of heading in the right direction. So we structured our mission statement to make it more kind of community inclusive, and we came up with 2 goals to focus on for 2025, and those goals are basically, we'd like to see more board members and more diverse board. So we're working on ways we can involve more community members on the board. And there was a partner program that we had, and it kind of stalled with COVID, and it's been kind of a struggle to get that going again. So just looking at ways we can engage with our community partners, and ways we can be of service to them. Events, attractions, festivals, businesses, anybody that we can help promote Dark County. So any advertising or any way we can work with them to let people know they're there.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thanks for coming up.
Yep, thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, Council. Brandon Irvin with Main Street Greenville. Just wanted to kind of highlight some of the first quarter events that we are working on. Last month, we had a Senior Citizens Day downtown, partnered with Mike Jones in the theater. Again, like we did last September, he showed the notebook at a rate of $3, and Everhart Hospice sponsored free popcorn again for our senior citizens. We sold 76 tickets, which was pretty good because the high was 11 degrees that day. So we also had 8 folks, real energetic folks, show up for bingo at Beans, and we had 2 Greenville High School students volunteer for that as well. So that was a great event. Working with businesses right now next Thursday, February 13th from 5 to 8. They're doing a Galentine's Day event, so that'll be part. We have participated businesses, as you can find on our social. So how that works is mainly women will go downtown. With every $10 they spend, they'll get a raffle ticket, and we have 2 prizes. So Merchant House has donated a dinner for 2 valued over $70, and then we've partnered with Hotel and Versailles. They're going to do a dinner for 2 and an overnight stay valued at $400. So hopefully we can entice people to come downtown for that. And then we're working closely with Topsy Turvy Toys and other participating businesses. We're going to hold a family game day on March 8th from 11 to 3. So basically what we're looking at there is businesses that want to participate. Topsy-Turvy will provide a game for them to have in their store. If they play that game, they get a raffle ticket, and they'll be entered in for a grand prize as well. So, and then lastly, we do have our annual public board meeting tomorrow night at Dean's at 6:30. So, oh, and another thing too, we're looking for active members in the community to kind of sit on some committees that we have as well, so I'm trying to fill some of those roles. So if anybody's interested or knows anybody. So, any questions?
What type of committees are you?
So we're really focused on Heritage Ohio implementation. So Heritage Ohio oversees Main Streets. I was able to sit down a couple months after I started, and we really want to try to get on track with what their guidelines are and how they run. So we have 4 committees: design, promotional, organizational, and enhancement. So we're looking for fill a couple more of those committees. So just basically discuss events, different things. But yeah.
Very good.
Yep.
Any questions?
Thanks for coming, Brandon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brandon.
Anyone else wishing to address council? If not, we'll move the agenda on to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
The only thing I have tonight is I want to thank both Brandon Irvin and Greg Billing for all they do, taking on these positions with Main Street Greenville and the Dark County Visitors Bureau, and promoting the strong economic development in Greenville and throughout Dark County. So with that, I pass.
All right, thank you. Moving on, Safety Service Director, Mr. Delk.
Thank you, Mr. President. A few things for this evening. First thing is gas aggregation. So we were unable to get any gas suppliers to bid on our gas aggregation program. Our consultant, AGE, put it out a couple of different times, and just due to the kind of the economics of gas prices at the time, the fluctuation, and our old supplier wasn't redoing any contracts, so we weren't able to get anything completed with that prior to winter season. The plan is to put that back out for bids in the spring when the weather kind of levels out. So at this point, residents that are on aggregation have 2 options. They can either stand with the standard choice officer that's offered by CenterPoint Energy, or they can get on Apples to Apples and sign up for their own aggregation program. There's many out there. The only thing that I would like to add is just I caution people to make sure they read all the fine print and make sure there's no fees associated with that or fees to get out of something like that, because once the new Greenville City aggregation one comes in, they can jump back on. If they stay with the standard choice, then they'll automatically go onto the city's new aggregation whenever that bid gets complete.
So if they want to stay there, they don't have to do anything?
Correct. Yes. Second thing, as the weather warmed up there for one day for us, we received, I think, 3 or 4 phone calls in the last 2 days about cats and cat problems around the city. So I just want to remind everyone,
What problems?
Cats. Feral cats.
Okay.
You're good. We partner with Dark County Humane Society. They run a TNR program, a trap, neuter, and release program throughout the city. We pay for half, and then the Humane Society matches whatever we put in. This year for the budget, I think we have slated to put $4,000 in. Last year, I think we ended up spading and neutering somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 feral cats throughout the city. Done a lot of research on this. This is the best humane way to handle these problems. So if anyone that lives in the city has a cat problem, the best thing for them to do is contact the Humane Society. The Humane Society then will come out and get permission signed to trap cats on that particular property. And then if there are any neighbors that will allow it, they'll do that as well. They'll trap them, then they'll take them back to Humane Society. They're contracted with the veterinary service, have them spaded and neutered, and then they release them back into the city. They ear notch them, then that way they know that they've already been taken care of. It's the season coming up, and so we will just make sure that that's clear and out there. Our Phase 2 sidewalk invoices have been sent out. Our Phase 3 preliminary sidewalk letters have been sent out. And then our solids handling, we did bid openings last Thursday. We did only get one bid, but it was a good bid. It was within 10% of the engineer's estimate. So our engineering firm is currently reviewing it, and then we plan to get legislation together for next meeting. And with that, I will pass and answer any questions.
Mr. Delk, 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
Number one, on the aggregation, do we have a timing for when they're going to respin it?
Spring of 2025.
Roughly.
Roughly, yeah.
And so we were in that with other cities, right?
Correct.
So they just,
Nobody's nobody. So like we're in it with Sydney, Botkins, Wayne Lakes, Aunt Sonia. There are like 16 other communities that are in the same boat we are, that I know of.
okay. Second question. Any update on the Greenville Transit County Commissioner negotiations?
I have a meeting with them next Tuesday.
That expected to be kind of the finalization of it?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
that's my hope.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? If not, moving on, Law Director, Mr. Raymond.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Just a few quick things. As first and foremost, we have a big birthday here tonight. Happy birthday to the mayor.
Thank you.
I think he's a big 37, if I remember correctly. I don't count well.
Thank you.
Secondly, going back to what Mr. White had talked about on the agenda, so through the policies and procedures, the Roberts Rules of Order are kind of the default of what we have. Anytime we don't have a specific rule, that's what goes in place. They do refer to it as unfinished business. At the beginning of every year, you adopt rules of council. The rules of council listed specifically as old business, and so because it speaks on it specifically, if you want to make it unfinished business, we probably, for clarity's sake, amend the policies and procedures that we have to. So something to think about how much you care, one of those things.
Okay.
And then lastly, an exciting update. If you paid attention, there's a lot of construction going on at Family Health. They're creating a massive expansion out there. I'm happy to report it's something the city's been working on for a while. We did receive just today a pre-annexation agreement signed from them. And so we're happy to help support them in their mission and happy to work with them as we continue to bring them on board into the city. So pretty exciting thing for us here. So with that, I'll answer any questions that you have.
What kind of deal did we give them?
We give them water.
Just was curious. Okay.
Anyone else?
Was that water and sewer both?
They've had water and sewer both.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we'll move on to Auditor, Mrs. Davis.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to wish the mayor a happy birthday as well.
Thank you.
And other than that, I don't have anything. We've started our audit process, so we're busy getting that together. And we also have I think everyone now has had their budgets, and we're looking forward to that meeting next Tuesday. So I don't have anything else. If anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Just a question for clarification again. Is that meeting an open meeting or is that a
Yes,
closed meeting?
it's an open
It is an
meeting.
open meeting, okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Anyone else? If not, we'll move on to committee reports. No scheduled committee reports this evening. So we can move on to ordinances and resolutions. We have 3 of those to consider this evening. The first one is an ordinance about the recreational cannabis moratorium, and this did have its first reading.
This ordinance imposes a moratorium to prohibit all recreational cannabis operations, including cultivation, processing, and dispensing within its jurisdiction under ORC 3780. An ordinance by the City of Greenville Council imposing a moratorium on the issuance and processing of any permits allowing recreational adult use cannabis operations within the City of Greenville, Ohio.
It'll be its second
If
reading.
no action is taken, we'll give it third reading at the next meeting. Okay, moving on. Number 2, we have a resolution for the Safety Service Director to advertise for bids.
This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to advertise for bids for trash services in the city. A resolution authorizing bidding for trash services for City of Greenville.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title only, second, third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, give this resolution a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Schmidt,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing bidding for trash services for the City of Greenville. A resolution authorizing bidding for trash services for the City of Greenville.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the resolution. Discussion?
Mr. President Pro Tem, Mr.
Yes.
Gell, how many people do we have bidding on this one?
We'll put it out, this will put out for bids and then,
How many? Do we select who it goes to, or?
No, these are all.
public bids.
Okay.
See
And
what we
it's
get.
it's the entire city, right?
Correct. For the residential side.
Okay, thank you.
But we're still keeping the bags in place.
Yeah, the bid documents have not changed since the last bid. It'll still be, bags, toters, recycling bins, 4 pickups a year as far as for large item cleanups. Nothing's changing as far as what we're asking them to do.
Because that'll limit how many people bid on that. That'll limit on how many people, if you got the bags in there, I think that Best Way don't want to bid on it because of the bags and,
Yeah, they have expressed that in the past.
yeah. I know they want to do the automatic toter thing and,
Yes.
yeah. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you looking at anything for the city again, or no?
Not unless the bids come back bad.
The only thing that I've been seeing is a lot of early pickup in residential, 5:30, so forth, you know.
That hasn't changed.
Absolutely, and as those come in, I field calls on those more than I would like to. But if any of you have those, and if you can give me the time and when it was, all Rumpke's trucks are GPS tracked. So I contact my contact, and then they go to their supervisor. They pull all the data from that truck, and then have the conversation with the driver. If it continues, they have a process of discipline for those that come in early, because most of the drivers have other areas outside of the city, so they start at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then they'll try to sneak into the corporation limits prior to. But Rumpke has been extremely responsive in addressing all those issues.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? All right, call the roll.
Schmidt,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, number 3, a supplemental appropriation ordinance.
This supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the wastewater capital improvement fund and the capital improvement plan fund in the sum of the follows. New equipment, wastewater capital improvement in the amount of $200,000. These funds are needed for engineering costs for wastewater treatment plant solids handling facility and administration building. Roadway enhancement, CIP, in the amount of $289,237.67. These funds are needed for posting due to a payment made for paving by Ohio Public Works Commission on behalf of the city. An ordinance to make an additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this supplemental ordinance and read it by title only, second, third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second and third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Schmidt,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures for the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025.
Move to adopt the ordinance.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion?
Mr. President Pro Tem.
Yes.
Mr. Delk, Ms. Davis.
Yes.
Are these both budgeted line items in our 2025 budget?
So the wastewater treatment plant is part of the engineering that has been budgeted for, correct?
Yep.
And I'll let him answer that one. I'll answer the other one. The other one is just the paving. The paving has already been paid for. That paving amount was paid on behalf of the City of Greenville by OPWC. That money has to be posted and debited on our books because they made the payment on behalf of the city, and we've already made our payment for our paving.
So it's a net neutral?
That's right.
It has no, that is purely posting only, has
That
no
is
impact
posting only.
on anything?
It was last year's budget, but they made the payment in '25.
Okay.
Yes. So the solids handling, the wastewater one is part of the initial engineering. It was actually budgeted in 2024, but at the end of 2024, we closed out. And then because we don't have a budget yet and it's a capital expense, it's budgeted for 2025. But to start paying bills is why we needed to do that.
That's all inside of the 19 million?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt?
Yes.
White?
Yep.
Brown?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Okay, that takes care of the ordinances and resolutions. Moving on to old business, nothing under that, nothing under new business. Our council representative, outside committee, Main Street, Greenville.
I think that they spoke well. Brandon spoke well, so with that, I'll pass.
Very good. That's nice of them to come up.
It is nice.
Yeah, we enjoy that. Okay, communications. We have one under communications.
Honorable members of the council, at December 17th, 2024, and the January 21st, 2025 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, Marcus Briscoe, Raleigh Receipts, requested for a zoning amendment at 300 Green Street was heard. Members voted to recommend that the request to zone the property from GB General Business to LIC Limited Industrial Commercial be denied. In the following, with the zoning regulations, Article 5 amendments, Section 5.05, the Planning and Zoning Commission is hereby forwarding the recommendation to deny the request to the City Council. City Council, per Section 5.06, must now take action. The application as submitted by Mr. Briscoe is attached, along with minutes from the December 17th, 2024 and January 21st, 2025 meeting.
Okay, what do we need to do from here?
Yep, and so with all zoning recommendations, council can accept, it takes a simple majority to accept the recommendations of the Planning and Zoning Board, or if council wishes to do something other than that, accept the recommendation, it just takes a super majority. So.
Anybody wish to act on this?
I move that we accept the unfavorable recommendation.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to accept the recommendation from the Planning and Zoning. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt?
Yes.
White?
No.
Brown?
Yes.
Ely?
No.
Godwin?
No.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
So it's a simple majority, so that'll stand.
All right. Nothing else under communications. We will call down the council.
Schmidt?
Happy birthday, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much.
With that, I will pass.
Appreciate it.
White?
Thanks to everybody for showing up tonight. Already said happy birthday to the mayor, so that's taken care of. Really. And everybody have a good week.
Brown?
Happy 37th birthday, Mr. Mayor. Very much. With a few years' experience, I think. Other than that,
Anniversary of that.
yeah. Other than that, just a fantastic job to our city fire guys as well as the rest of Darke County. And shout out to Greenville for making sure the folks PD didn't make sure the guys on Schweitzer didn't get hit when they were filling the fire trucks. So anyway, it was they all had a busy day. I think 8-9 hours fighting fire. So good job. I will pass.
Ely,
I'll pass tonight.
Godwin,
I'm gonna pass too.
Norris,
Yeah, happy birthday, Jeff.
Dramatic.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks for all the department heads for being here. Water, wastewater, we okay on we had some fault lines giveaway, freezing temperatures, or Ryan, if you want to address that. How's the Ohio Street one? That one had a pretty good dip in it. Is that, we got that under control, I guess?
It's under control. We're still not certain exactly what caused it. You know, obviously, it's freezing and thawing and moving. It's whether there's nothing that we are aware of yet that's going underneath it. So we're going to monitor it and see what happens, and then we'll address it from there.
Sounds like another cold blast coming and then another warm, and let's hope warm anyhow with spring. Yeah, thank you very much. We had a real good turnout I have to go green wave and hit our sports real quick. We had 4 seniors we recognized Lady Wave basketball last Saturday. If everybody's bored, on Friday of Valentine's Day, the 14th, we're graduating 7 basketball players and 7 cheerleaders. We're going to be honoring those on the 14th of all things, and then their managers. So we're going to be doing 15 seniors on Friday night.
Big night.
Yeah, big night. Tomorrow night is wrestling senior night, and we have a host match at Greenville High School. So it's a great opportunity to come out and support the kids, and $8 ticket to get in, and support those seniors, and support our school system. So with that, I will pass.
Rogers.
I'm going to pass this evening, thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Brown to adjourn. Discussion? Call the roll?
Schmidt,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ely,
Yes.
Godwin,
Yes.
Norris,
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
All right, thank you.